Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
All right, so the keyword one more time is island. ISLAND to 312-591-8300. If you haven't texted it yet, do it. If you have, don't do it. It's already good. You're entered, and it's fine for the Glass Animals tickets and for Q101's golden ticket. Everything with Q101 for an entire year from our great friends at Aurelio's Pizza. Speaking of which, the current golden ticket winner will be going to see Incubus this Saturday night at Allstate Arena. Also, Coheed and Cambria there, but Incubus is going to perform Morning View in its entirety. This is so rewarding for me. I'm so happy about this show.
This? You've done this? You've worked hard?
I waited 20 years to hear Morning View in its entirety. Incubus was I such an influence on me, and I love that band so much. And I got to talk to Mike Eisinger, the guitar player. And so we're going to play a little clip of that interview. He couldn't do it in the morning, so I recorded the interview after the show. But something happened in the interview that's never happened to me in 1,000 interviews with bands over my entire radio career. So
he remembered you.
No,
There's
it's not that.
There's this ongoing joke about Brian getting very mad when he interviews people and they don't remember him.
Well, let's do a little flashback on that story. Is Billy Corrigan, who I've talked to probably 30 or 40 times. And he came in, and Kenzie just charmed him when he came in here, met him for the first time. And then when we saw him out at the wrestling event, the NWA event, I start walking toward him and Kenzie talking, because Kenzie got there before us. And I walk up, and Billy goes, "May I help you?" Billy, it's me. It's me, buddy. It's me.
I talked to you for an hour 5 days ago.
Not let alone that. I've talked to him for 25
he
years.
Sounded like Tiffany Henyard. He was like,
He's ready to pull out like a switchblade and stop me from approaching. Hey, Billy, it's me. It's me, buddy. Remember me?
It doesn't sound right.
That's not what happened in this interview, okay, Mike?
It's me, Jessica.
This interview was completely different. What happened never happened in all my history of doing radio interviews with bands, and we'll play that clip of the interview coming up here in just about 4 minutes. And also, there's a few tickets left for Incubus at Allstate Arena. It's this Saturday night. And again, with Coheed and Cambria, who played Riot Fest, they killed it back in 2019. And then, of course, Morning View in its entirety is so cool. I'm digging. I love these album plays that bands are doing. So that's coming up. First, it's Gil Curtis with your headlines.
This is not headline news. A new study says 60% of baby foods in U.S. grocery stores are unhealthy. The worst of the bunch? Gerber pulverized glass shards. Country singer Tucker Wetmore will make his Grand Ole Opry debut next month. But he'll do it under his porn name, Tucker Wetmore. Prince William doesn't want Prince Harry at his coronation, proving once again royals hate to work, even on family relationships. A mammoth tusk was found in a Mississippi creek. It'll be stored along that other Mississippi rarity, the guy who finished high school. And IQ scores in the U.S. are decreasing, mostly because Fast and Furious sequels are increasing. This is not headline news.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. So Incubus playing this Saturday. They're going to do Morning View in its entirety, and I cannot wait for it. I'm here for it. They did a show at the Aragon. I'm guessing that was also around 2019. That's the last time, besides, of course, Picnic, about a year and a half ago. But I'm thinking of that Aragon show where they also played Morning View. They did a whole kind of album play with them. And they're going to play hits, too. They're going to play the songs. They're going to play all the good songs. But I love these album plays. They're, 20 years. This one's not quite 20 years. But Coheed and Cambria opening, great band. And I got a chance to talk to Mike Eisinger, the guitar player, about the show. Now, something happened during this interview, so I recorded the interview. It happened, yesterday and after the show, a couple hours after the show.
Spoiler alert.
Yes. I'm not going to say, it's live, because the point is that something happened during this interview. It's never happened to me in 1,000 radio interviews.
I'm so scared as to what you did to him.
Well, it's kind of what he did to me.
Oh, really?
In a way. He's a sweetheart.
You find out like Megan was his ex or something?
That's exactly right.
Imagine.
Yeah. No, he's a sweetheart. He's super nice guy, really introspective,
Well, that's what
deep
Megan's
dude.
always-
It's true. He's a good lover.
So
all those
generous.
things. Yeah. But listen what happens. I'm going to play about a minute of our conversation. I just asked him about playing Morning View and how, wild that is to go back and play an album in its entirety. We've talked to reference of Billy Corgan about doing, Siamese Dreaming and how hard it is to go back actually and learn all the songs because you don't play all of them all the time.
We just saw Green Day do it with Dookie and American Idiot. They did 2 in one night.
Incredible. So how hard that is to do. So I asked him about that and how he felt about wanting to do that. That's not part of what I'm talking about. It's what happens in the interview that's never happened to me before. And this was a hard interview to schedule. They're very busy.
Busy guys.
So here's what happened when I asked that question to him.
I don't know. There was a magic there for sure. And I think after we had that experience collectively as a band, I think we all realized this would be a really great opportunity for us to connect with our fans and also just show respect to this music that we wrote so long ago that has such a connection with such a large group of people. It's such a rarity, and I think it's easy as an artist to get sucked up into this idea that you're so cool because you made something that people like, but it's not lost on any of us in the band that all of that can just go away in a second. And sorry, I'm on an airplane, so if you hear other voices talking.
That's hilarious. Where are you going?
I'm in San Francisco or San Jose. I'm flying back to LA this morning. And but I think.
So we keep talking, and the woman keeps talking. The flight attendant.
The woman keeps talking?
Listen.
The age that we're at, all of us are extraordinarily grateful and humbled by the fact that we, can play music that means.
She told you how to put the seatbelt on. So it's the guitar player from Incubus. He's probably in first class, and he's calling me before the plane takes off. That has never happened before where I hear the flight attendant all of a sudden come in and interrupt the interview.
Listen, I'd be so mad if I was sitting next to him. I'd be like, excuse me, sir. I don't know what to happen. I don't know what to do if we're going to die. If you could please stop your interview for a second. I didn't hear the part about my oxygen mask. Thanks a heap. Kidding me?
The person next to him's going, what's this guy? Think he's an Incubus or something? What the hell?
What a loser.
Can you imagine
doing an interview about his local band?
I mean, you're sitting next to somebody on a plane, and he's talking all introspective and deep and not saying, honey, make sure you take the cat out. Get the cat litter out of there because it's going to stink up the house.
The person next to him is digging for peanuts. He's just okay.
Somebody's asking, hey, can you move me? This guy talks too much. Flight attendant all the way through.
To people and travel all over the world doing it. It's such a privilege. It really is. So we're very, very, very humbled by it and so appreciative of our fans that have endured all this time with us, a decade.
I had to turn my mic off because I started laughing too hard.
I'm just hoping and praying he's not in the exit, the exit aisle, because he is not going to know how to evacuate that plane. And
Oh,
I
my
appreciate
God.
that.
Yeah.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. So let's give that word one more time, the keyword, before Lauren comes in and gets through the rest of this midday, a beautiful day outside. So text FUN to 312-591-8300. That's your chance, of course, at Glass Animals at Northerly Island and Q101's Golden Ticket. Everything we do for an entire year. Riot Fest to Riot Fest. That's Lollapalooza, lounges, Twisted, so much stuff you don't even know about yet. So the Golden Ticket, and Golden Ticket Puts Thursday, sponsored by Aurelio's Pizza, celebrating 65 years of memories in every bite. Aurelio's Pizza, it's the sauce. Now let's get to your takeaways. Case, what do you got from today's show? Who's texting in and what?
Paul from Bensonville checked in his takeaway. Amazingly, if you put fried chicken in a wrap, it loses all of its calories.
It's a force field.
It's the greatest thing ever. Pour one out for KFC today.
Oh, too bad.
I know. Kenzie.
Double features. My takeaway, Brian paid Matthew McConaughey to paddle him, and that's why he's such a flat ass now.
Totally worth it. Totally worth
Decisions have consequences.
it. Well, Kenzie has the takeaway here from Kelly. Kelly says, takeaway. Kenzie has more diseases than a homeless person living in the back alley of a Las Vegas buffet restaurant.
That is so specific.
Anyways, love the show. Love you guys.
Yeah, good to hear from you, Kenzie. Love you. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Kelly, so much.
What's on the podcast case?
Well, you can learn all about Kenzie's diseases. Also, Bane the therapist checked in. If you need inspiration this morning, Bane the therapist checked in with some morning words of advice. We poured one out for Colonel Sanders, gone too soon, KFC. And we had a number of crew members relive their nun-related PTSD this morning. If you have trauma, the 8 a.m. podcast is for you. We poured one out for all of the hell that teachers put us through growing up. A very fun conversation on the Brian and Kenzie podcast.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.